Now, let us explore de Bono's 6 thinking hats. According to de Bono, the strategies of the 6 thinking hats have many benefits. They can help you systematically analyze a problem, maximize productive collaboration and minimize personal conflicts. In addition, this method can achieve significant results in a shorter time and apply creative thinking effectively. Above all, I want to add that this model can usefully incorporate the creative thinking skills of provocative operation as well. When you put everything in place, you will discover that the model of the 6 thinking hats equips you with an extraordinarily powerful problem-solving tool. The 6 thinking hats each have a different color. Each color represents a unique problem-solving strategy. The key point is that you have to apply all 6 strategies in order to attack the problem systematically. When you apply the 6 thinking hats in a group thinking session, each member can take turns to put on the thinking hats so that each member can contribute. The flexibility comes from being able to master the flow of the thinking hats in different patterns so that you can solve different types of problems. Okay. Let us begin with the white thinking hat. The color white is associated with a piece of paper. The white hat concerns pure facts, data and statistics. When you put on the white hat, your mission is to report only the factual data related to the issues at hand. You do not take sides and avoid being affected by any emotion. In other words, your position is as neutral and objective as possible. Accurate reports of the relevant data are very important in a decision-making process. In conceptual blockbusting, James Adams has made a very interesting observation on this point. James Adams notes that one single error made in a decision-making process could lead to disastrous results. Now, consider this table drawn from James Adams. The first column on the left indicates the number of possible variables you need to examine. The second column shows the possible combinations of the variables. If you need to examine 2 variables, the possible combinations will be 4 in number, namely, A, B, B, A, B and B, A. The third column displays the chances that you will end up with a wrong judgment when you make only a simple error in one variable, and the fourth column indicates the scenarios when you make errors on 2 variables. Consider the case where you have 2 variables. If you make an error on only one variable, then given the 4 possible combinations of the variables, the chance is that in 3 out of the 4 possible cases, you will finally make a mistake in judgment. That is a chance of 75%. It is a very high proportion. You can see that only one small error in your judgment can turn almost everything upside down. For this reason, you should not underestimate the importance of the basic facts and data, even if they are obvious and straightforward. This is the irreplaceable contribution made by the white thinking hat in the group thinking. Apart from facts and objective data, de Bono also stresses the importance of emotion. Our emotion represents a hidden factor that constantly influences our judgment. It reveals our attitude, gut feeling and intuition. The tricky point about intuition is that sometimes it is accurate and sometimes misleading. In his book, Thinking, Fast, and Slow, Daniel Kahneman rightly notes that, to quote, some intuitions draw primarily on skill and expertise acquired by repeated experience. Other intuitions can be made with high confidence even when they are based on weak evidence. For this reason, it is crucial for you to lay out your emotion and hunches for inspection and discussion. Expressing your emotions, gut feelings and intuition is the task of the red thinking hat. The color red represents fire and the feeling of heat. By putting on the red thinking hat, you may say something like this: my gut feeling tells me that there is a chance for us to succeed. Or my intuition is that we will fail badly. In some cases, this sort of emotion can form a guiding direction for you to persist and succeed. In other cases, it can reveal a hidden obstacle you should pay attention to. Here you see that de Bono tries to separate the objective and the subjective thinking styles through the white and red thinking hats respectively. This separation allows you to deal with each clearly without the intervention of one into the other. Without this sort of separation in group thinking, people are prone to mixing up subjective feelings with objective data. The red thinking hat can effectively supplement the white thinking hat in a decision-making process. Third, you have the black thinking hat. Black is associated with the color of a judge's gown. It represents a critical and cautious attitude. When you put on the black thinking hat, you may say something like this: "I don't think that we have enough experience. We lack the budget to complete the whole project," and so on. The black thinking hat is very useful in highlighting cautions, and it questions all the ideas proposed. Its function is similar to the devil's advocate. However, the advantage of the 6 thinking hats is that it is conducted as if it were a role-playing game. Each member is assigned a thinking hat. They may take turns to put on different hats. When it is your turn to put on the black thinking hat, your duty is to be critical and cautious. In this way, even if you are challenging your boss's ideas, you need not fear that your boss will take it personally. In fact, your boss will praise you if you can perform the function of the black thinking hat properly, for this contributes to an effective decision-making process. This is why de Bono asserts that the 6 thinking hats can solve the problem with human dynamics. It can avoid personal conflicts without sacrificing the need for a cautious and critical strategy. The 6 thinking hats incorporates not only the critical attitude of the black thinking hat, it also opposes the black thinking hat's strategy with that of the yellow thinking hat. If the black thinking hat depicts caution, the yellow thinking hat suggests hope. The color yellow suggests sunshine, hope and benefits. By putting on the yellow thinking hat, you may say something like this: "This might work if we move the production plant," or "The profit will come from repeated purchases by old customers," or "The high cost of energy would make everyone more energy efficient." This positive attitude motivates you to look for opportunities and solutions. When you put on the yellow thinking hat, you spot opportunities that help you or your company succeed. For instance, while the pandemic related to COVID-19 has adversely affected the health, safety and operations of many businesses around the world in 2020. It has also created new business opportunities, leading online educational tools, e-books, or food delivery services to thrive. The yellow thinking hat aims to bring out the bright side of any challenge by focusing on the new benefits you may gain by seizing new opportunities. It is interesting to imagine how, in a meeting, the black and yellow thinking hats complement and supplement each other so that an all-round analysis of the situation can be effectively achieved. When the yellow thinking hat spots opportunities, a natural question pops up. How can you seize the opportunities and turn them into a reality that makes you successful? This requires the application of creative thinking skills. Creative problem-solving strategies are the task of the green thinking hat. Green suggests vegetation, growth and creative discoveries. It helps to further and realize the ideas of the yellow thinking hat and answers the challenges of the black thinking hat. But how can you realize the potentials of the green thinking hat? This is also a question raised in relation to Alex Osborne's brainstorming approach. The brainstorming strategy itself does not provide any clues regarding how to combine or make improvements on spontaneous ideas. At this point, you may recall what we have learned from de Bono's provocative operation, or PO. We have learned 5 methods of generating crazy ideas, and 5 methods of modifying them into creative solutions to any problems at hand. Whoever wears the green thinking hat can engage in PO. By putting the PO in the broader context of the 6 thinking hats, you can see that it is a very powerful creative thinking skill set. Among the 6 thinking hats, the blue is a special one. The color blue represents the sky and the bird's eye view from the top. Its function is to master the flow of ideas effectively. It can set the meeting agenda, draw conclusions and control the time. For instance, wearing the blue thinking hat, you may say something like this: "Let's summarize the points first." Or, "There are too many black thinking hats, we should have more yellow thinking hats." Or, "Spend 10 more minutes on the green thinking hat and then we will make a conclusion." Or you may say, We only have 20 more minutes and then we will round off our discussion with the white thinking hat again. Partly because of the blue thinking hat, the model of 6 thinking hats is more effective than brainstorming, because it can effectively set the time frame so that the meeting will not overrun. It can also redirect the discussion so that the collective thinking session will not have unnecessary digressions or waste time. Let us summarize the 6 thinking hats. The white thinking hat presents facts. The red thinking hat expresses feelings. The black thinking hat pinpoints cautions. The yellow thinking hat anticipates benefits. The green thinking hat applies creativity. The blue thinking hat masters processes.